Hi everybody! I'm glad you could join me for today's science experiment. This week we have been discovering about maps and landforms. So today we get to create a map out of food and experiment with different landforms that we've learned about. So here's what you will need. You're going to need a paper plate, a pencil, some crayons, green, blue, and brown, and a brown marker. You're going to need some frosting and some blue and green food coloring, and hopefully your folks will help you mix that up. So you'll need a little bit of green frosting and a little bit of blue frosting. You'll also need graham crackers, and you'll need a cookie or a circular cracker and chocolate chips. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use our paper plate as the base for our map. Okay, so our map, we're going to make sure that we create something that has land and water. So I was thinking the green could be like a forest. Okay, so I'll create the forest over this way, on this side of my map. I'm just gonna spread it around a little bit. So there's my forest. My forest is gonna go all the way across here, okay? Like so. I was thinking it's just like Colorado, right? We have those forests, and then just so, and then of course, because you're here alone or you're doing this alone, you could always just lick the frosting, right? Don't tell, don't tell. Okay, so you have your forest. And then over here in your forest, we're gonna create a little mountain range, just like the Rocky Mountains, okay? Let me grab those real quick. Got my chocolate chips. All right, so our mountain range, just like the Rocky Mountains, it's gonna go over here. So I'm just gonna use some chocolate chips. You could use chocolate kisses or something more triangular for this. So I'm gonna make, remember some of those videos they talked about not just mountains, but when you have a group of mountains, it's called a mountain range. So I'm making the mountain range over here. It's part of that back side of our forest, right? Okay. So I'm adding in my mountains. So maybe you have Pikes Peak and Long's Peak in there, maybe Mount Elbert, right? Those are all Colorado mountains that are found in our mountain range called the Rocky Mountains. Okay, so here we have it. Here, this is our forest. These are our mountains. And then over here is going to be water, okay? I'm going to mix that back up. So I'm using the blue, just like in a map, we use blue for water. All right, so I'm going to spread this around. This is the water. This is the ocean, okay? So let's say Colorado doesn't really, we don't back up to an ocean, but let's say that for this map, this is the ocean, huge body of water, right? And as we learned from some of our videos, ocean water is salt water, but from the mountains, that's where we get fresh water, right? That's where the snow and the rain comes down into our mountains, and then because it's such a steep hill, the water just trickles down and into our forests, and then eventually into our oceans. So I'm gonna create a river right here. I'm going to create a river, and this is a freshwater river, and it comes from those mountains, right? It comes from those mountains, and then that fresh water goes right down into our ocean. So mountain range and forest, this is the river, and then that river goes into our ocean. The last thing I'm going to make today, oh, I kind of forgot about it. The last thing I'm going to make today is our our island. Okay, so we're gonna have an island out here. You can make your island with your graham cracker, or you can make your island with your circular cracker. I'm gonna go ahead and just use my cracker for this nice shape. Because this is land, I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with green. All right, so maybe, there we go, some green. I'm gonna put it right in the middle of my ocean. There you go, right in the middle. And then I might just add some more mountains. Right in the middle of my island. Say there's like 3 little peaks there. Okay, so now we've made our map out of food, and of course we get to eat it if we like, okay? Then what I'd like for you to do today is, for Writer's Workshop, I'd like for you to make a map. Draw the map that we just made, okay? So we're gonna now record the map that we just made. So I'm looking at this as a big circle. Big circle. And then kind of down the center, you can see that there's a line, and then there is the river, okay? So this is where your forest is. This is where that river comes in. This is the ocean, okay, over here. All right, and then there's the circle is our island right in the middle. So there's that island, okay? And then I'm gonna put just a little circle inside where the mountains are. And then over here, I'm gonna draw, it's kind of split up, right? So here's our mountain range, if you see that, our mountain range. And then there's the forest. Here's our island in the middle of the ocean. And then inside is like the peaks, the mountain peaks. And then remember that little river that's coming, I should make it a little bit bigger, huh? Up to those mountains, I imagine. Okay, my friends, you got it. All right, so then we have to create some sort of legend. So a legend is part of a map, and it lets the people know what are these symbols? What do they really mean? And so usually in the corner, it's like a special code, right? So you create a legend here. I'm gonna write that, legend. And I'm gonna draw 3 things here, my friends. Mountains. So I'm gonna have a little square for mountains, a little square for forest, a little square for water, all right? And then, so I'm gonna write that. And now that I've written that, I'm gonna make our mountains right here, I'm gonna make those brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in that little square brown. And I'm gonna make the water, just like on our maps that we've studied so far in our videos, I'm gonna make that blue. And the water is gonna be the ocean and the river, okay? And then last, I'm gonna make this green, the forest, the land. So remember when we've kind of talked about that on a map, that the land is usually green, okay? All right, so now I'm just gonna color this in, all right? So I'm gonna have this part, the mountain range that was here, okay, is gonna be brown. I'm gonna do this kind of fast, okay? And then my friends, the next part, the forest, like we said here, right, is gonna be green. Okay, and then the water will be blue. And I'm gonna go around my island. Remember that our island is land. So we don't want to color that in blue, right? That would be confusing. We do want the river to be blue. want to go around. Okay, like so. All right, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to color that land. I'm going to color this part, the the middle part is our mountain. Remember, we said the mountain was going to be brown. And then we said that the surrounding area, that land of that island, is going to be green. Okay, my friends. So now you can see we created our map with several of the landforms out of food. And then we recorded a map today of what we created here, our model. And now you get to enjoy eating your map as you label these important parts. So go ahead and label, like wherever the mountains are, you're gonna label just like we looked at for Writer's Workshop earlier this week. We're gonna label that those are mountains. We're gonna label the forest, the ocean, the river, the island. So thinking about Writer's Workshop and how people use labels to help them describe or tell more about their picture. That's what you're gonna do as you take a bite and finish up your delicious landform map. I hope you had fun today making our map and creating landforms. I can't wait till next week to do another experiment with you. Have a great day.